Shoulder impingement is a really common cause of pain in the front of the shoulder, and what I'm going to show you in this video is what a typical treatment session at Sharp Physiotherapy would look like for someone that's come in with a shoulder impingement. A shoulder impingement will occur when the soft tissues, mainly the biceps tendon and the rotator cuff tendon, get pinched between the two bones that make up the shoulder joint. And there are two types of impingement. The first is a primary impingement. That refers to the bony architecture of the shoulder, and things such as a bony spur or an osteophyte that's developed within the shoulder joint is digging in and pressing into the soft tissues, creating pain. The second type of impingement is a secondary impingement, and that's caused by things such as tightness, weakness, or general imbalance within the shoulder. The ball then sits a little bit too far forward in the socket, and it's that then creates the impingement and pinches on the soft tissues in the front of the shoulder. So one of the main areas to focus on with the shoulder impingement is the pecs, the lats, and the subscapularis, because they are internal rotators of the shoulder, meaning if they're tight, they will pull the ball forward in the socket and create an impingement. So before we begin to strengthen anything, we want to make sure that they're not too tight and that the shoulder can get into a neutral position for you to then start to strengthen it. And the way that we assess those structures, first of all, is we just have a good feel of them and palpate them. Palpate for tightness, palpate for trigger points. So the pec joins from the clavicle, the sternum, and inserts into the front of the shoulder, specifically the lateral aspect of the bicipital groove. We can assess it on by the side, but I like to get it on a little bit of a stretch and just start to palpate through the pec. And I can feel there, Sam, that's really tender with you, isn't it? He's got some adhesions there. There's a lot of tightness in his upper pec, and because the structures aren't 2D, they're 3D, I like to come underneath as well and have a feel under there, and I can feel Sam there screaming, isn't it? Yeah. So he's definitely got a tight pec. Lat sits here, big muscle, easy to find. I would then get the arm into a little bit of abduction and external rotation, and I'll just start to have a feel of his lats and see if there's any tightness in there. And again, I mean there, Sam, that's really tight, isn't it? Yeah. Got loads of trigger points in there. And then we want to be looking at the subscapularis next. The way to expose the subscapularis, because it joins onto the anterior aspect of the scapula, is we abduct the shoulder to 90, externally rotate. That exposes the subscapularis, and it can be found in there. And again, Sam, it's tender, isn't it? Yeah. Tight. Fine. So what I'm going to show you now is how we treat it. We'd start with just getting some oil on these areas. Just start to warm the tissues. So just tracking through the front of the shoulder. It'll be quite tender there with the shoulder impingement. And the idea here is we're just trying to stimulate some blood flow into the front of the shoulder, into the pecs. And you can see with Sam there, that's going nice and red already. I would then do the same through the lats and the subscap. Again, nothing too heavy. Just starting to identify where the adhesions are, where the triggers are, and just stimulate some blood flow into those areas. I like to warm it up off a stretch, on a stretch as well. So by taking him into a little bit more flexion, abduction, we just start to stretch those areas a little bit more. Great, so we've got the area nice and warm. What I want to do now is start to move the tissue through different ranges and stress and stretch and manipulate those soft tissues. So I'm going to start with the pec first. I'm going to start to pin and trigger those specific areas, and then we're going to abduct and externally rotate. Again, coming underneath the pec there, same again. and the pec is an internal rotator as well, so we do want to be doing some external rotation as well. So again, triggering the pec and then just externally rotating the shoulder. Big circular movements now as well. What I'm doing there is I'm doing some big circles of the shoulder, and I'm really starting to stretch the pec with this hand to get maximum range through the shoulder. Just relax for me, Sam. I'd now move on to the subscap and the lat. So same sort of idea, start to trigger and externally rotate, abduct and flex the shoulder. Leading with the thumb. And then we're going to go into some external rotation as well. So what we're thinking of doing here is, if we can imagine the biceps tendon, the rotator cuff tendon, it's getting impinged because the ball is sitting a little bit too far forward in the socket, and we're thinking that pec's too tight, subscap's too tight, lat's too tight, and it's pulling that ball forward in the socket, creating the impingement. The idea here is that we start to treat these tight areas that are pulling that ball forwards in the socket and releasing them so that the ball can then sit in a more neutral position, and then that creates an opportunity for us to strengthen the rotator cuff and the external rotators of the shoulder to ensure that it stays there. One of the biggest mistakes we see people make with a shoulder impingement is they dive straight into doing exercises to get the ball to sit a little bit further back in the socket. But if you've got significant tightness and tension in the front, such as the pec and the subscap and the lat, you just won't get that shoulder into the position to be able to load it properly. So for us, the manual therapy does come first. Okay, just hold there for me, Sam. Lead with your thumb when I say go. I'm going to get you to bring your arm up, okay? Just got a pin in there. Off you go. Back in. And again. Good. And again. Good. And again. And again. Good. So I've treated the front of the shoulder there. I've worked quite aggressively into the pectorals, the lats and the subscap. Started off by just warming the tissue, and then as it let go and eased off, I then went a little bit deeper, began to work more specifically into the adhesions, into the trigger points, and treat them through different shoulder ranges. He can typically expect that the area will be bruised and sore for 48 to 72 hours, and then after that, the soreness will start to reduce and the shoulder should start to feel a lot better. It typically takes about 6 sessions to treat shoulder impingement. It often takes us 4 or 5 sessions just to reduce the pain and get that shoulder moving with no symptoms at all. And then at that point, we would start to introduce some strength and conditioning work into the shoulder, which would ensure nice, good, strong, healthy shoulder mechanics and prevent a future reoccurrence. I think one of the biggest mistakes that people make is they jump in too soon with the exercise, which often just sets it off. So the initial phases for us would be some modification to exercise, not complete rest, just some modification to take out anything that's aggravating it, manually treat the shoulder to make sure everything's moving properly, and would continue to treat it until symptoms settle. And then at that point, we'd introduce a strength and conditioning program to strengthen the rotator cuff and ensure good, strong, healthy biomechanics.